What could be more rewarding than getting a feedback like that? Ursula's book, Back Pain Goodbye, is a wonderful guide to helping anyone who is interested in reducing back pain without pills and potions. It is an excellent guide to finding the exercises that work for your body to strengthen your back and reduce pain. I was fortunate enough to also participate in a course that Ursula ran on back pain. The course followed the guide in her book. Now my back is more comfortable than it has been for 20 years. I am very grateful to Ursula for sharing her knowledge through her handy little book. Caroline. Hello and welcome. I'm Ursula Knecht. I'm presenting Back Pain Goodbye. Overcome back pain and reclaim your life in 12 weeks or less. So if you ever had back pain, an acute back pain or a chronic back pain, it doesn't really matter. This presentation is for you. I personally suffered from back pain. You're going to learn a bit later down the track. I suffered from chronic back pain, but I also suffered from acute back pain. And this webinar here is presenting you a little guide on how you can prevent back pain, but also what you can do to reduce your back pain should you currently suffer from back pain. So, attention back pain sufferers, discover how to reclaim your health and get your independence back in 12 weeks or less. That's also the book title you see above. So, Back Pain Goodbye, Overcome Back Pain and Reclaim Your Life in 12 weeks or less. So this webinar is for you. If you are currently experiencing back pain and don't know what to do about it. However, it is also for people who had back pain and never want to have it again. And also for people that are sick and tired of hearing from professionals and sometimes even from doctors that there is no real solution. Imagine finding the solution you have been dreaming of so long that would enable you to take control, to ease your back pain and to get your life back that you love. And why can I give you a step-by-step guide? I've been a physio now since 25 years and I learned many tools along the way to help you to get your life back. This webinar is also for you if you are ready for the solution that changes your life to the better. If you feel overwhelmed with all the conflicting information you're getting, sometimes even from doctors and online, and nothing of what you have tried so far seems to be working. Imagine finding the solution you have been dreaming of so long that would enable you to take control, ease your back pain, and get your life back that you really love. Do whatever you want to do, like climbing mountains again, or, do some gardening, which I'm now doing as well, which I could not have been dreaming of to do gardening when I was just 23 years old and suffered from my own back pain. So this webinar is for you if you want to know how to prevent back pain. If you ever had this, I also suffered once from this really, or actually more than once, about 2 or 3 times, from this really acute back pain where like it takes you 10 minutes to go to the bathroom on all 4, stuff like that. Really not a funny thing to have. So if you want to prevent this kind of back pain, and if you are currently suffering from chronic back pain like I did, before I was a physio, I was a massage therapist, and then in about 1990, then when I started my physio education, before that, a year before that, I had a motorbike accident. The only thing that really got actually injured was my knee, but because I was walking on crutches for several weeks, I wasted my muscles away. I know that now, but I didn't know that then. Anyway, so I started to have back pain. So I went from one doctor to the next one, had an x-ray done, and like I said, I was 23 years old, and then they said, Ursula, you just have early osteoarthritis. Just don't lift too much, rest a bit, just don't overdo it. It's not good for you to overdo it. Of course, I followed the instructions. I didn't know better at this time. Now I do, but then I didn't know better. And then it got just worse and worse. So before I actually had the accident, I used to go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, training 1.5 hours each time. And I was working, like I said before, as a massage therapist. So I was physically active and I was really fit. And now I know as well, if you're lying down for a week and do more or less nothing, you can waste your quadriceps or your big leg muscle can waste away up to 40%. And generally overall you can easily waste away 15 to 30% of your muscle mass. So if you do that for a few weeks, like I've done that, there's not much left. So finally one of the doctors said, Ursula, you just don't have any back muscles anymore. And he showed me in the mirror how my back looked like, and you really saw how my spine was sticking out. So if you're now palpating your own back, you should actually, in a healthy back, you should feel the spine, the little bones with your fingers, but then you should feel those bulky muscles on each side of your lower back and also further up on your back. So you should feel that the spine is like in a cushioning from both sides. If that's not the case, like in my case, if the spine really sticks out, then you may not have enough back muscles that support you. So I went through quite a journey. Like I said, I started then a year later, I started my physio education, then still suffering from back pain. Actually, I didn't have the solution until then. And I was actually lying down on mats or sitting on balls and so on. That was the good thing on studying physio, because they had understanding for back pain sufferers. So after 4 years I graduated and my back was much better, because I learned along the way you can do exercises, you can do some manual therapy and so on. But I wasn't really able to do everything I wanted to do in life. So I thought that I had to do more things, which I'm just going to tell you a bit later down the track. 80% of adults suffer from back pain. In my career as a physiotherapist, I've seen many people with back pain. And I was able to help many people with back pain, and that's the key. Back pain can be a really frightening experience and stressful. So I had this young lady, she was probably 27 years old or something. She came in and said, like, I don't see anything being wrong on my back. So she must have looked at her back in the mirror. But it feels so bad, like it is broken. What is happening? Do I need surgery? I assessed her thoroughly, and she had what we commonly say as non-specific low back pain, acute non-specific low back pain in her case. So her muscles and the spine were just locked up. So she didn't have any major damage, but back pain can be really, really painful, even though there is no major damage there. So the pain and the amount of damage there is are not linked together. Not necessarily linked together. And I told you before, I personally suffered from back pain, and I'm now going to finish my story. Then after graduating in '94 in Switzerland with a diploma in physiotherapy, I thought I'm still going to need to know more about how these joints work and all these things together. So I did a manual therapy education. You see here was part-time besides work. That's how education used to be in Switzerland. I'm not sure how it is nowadays. I've been in Australia now since 14 years. So I did that like a weekend, 4 or 5 days course, and then you worked in your clinic or where you were employed, and then you went again for a week's course and so on. So it was continuing education for 2 years. And then I graduated with this SOIE manual therapy postgrad diploma, or whatever it's called. The key on this one, what I learned here, is the biomechanics of the joints. So not just the back, but also the other joints. So how do these muscles work together with all the different joints, and to learn how to mobilize it. So manual therapy, loosening up those joints, but also how to retrain those small little muscles. And you're going to learn in this webinar as well on how to actually these little muscles work. What's the function of these little muscles? You're going to see the smallest little muscles in the back on how important they actually are to keep your facet joints, and that if you don't know at the moment what facet joints are, you're going to learn that as well in this webinar. Those small little muscles are keeping your facet joints in the right position and are so critical to prevent back pain. And then after that Zoya education, I knew all this biomechanics stuff and all this lower level exercises, but I still wasn't able to do running or to do, heavier stuff again. Like I said before, I was actually before in the gym doing heavy weight stuff for 4 to 5 times a week, and now I was only able to lift little things, so I was quite frustrated. So I thought I need to know more. So then I did this sports physical therapy education, which was really good in learning how to analyze people's movements. So no matter what you're doing, so you can be a top level athlete, you can be a bricklayer, you can be a carpenter, a housewife, or man, or sitting in the office. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. We can analyze you where you are at the moment, then we can figure out, if you do have a problem, what is the your limitation, or why are you not able to do the next step. So let's say, for example, you're a runner and you used to run 10Ks, but from whatever reason you're never able to really go for those 10Ks faster, or you're not able to run more than that, because when you're running more than 10Ks you're starting to have back pain, or your knees start hurting, and so on. So that was the part of this education, to learn to analyze all these different movement patterns and sports and so on, and also then to be able to retrain or train people more, to put trainings programs together to help people to gain more strength, more core strength, more whatever it needs to be, more cardiovascular fitness, more endurance, and so on, to get to the next level. And that was my breakthrough for my own life, to then actually be able to run again and lift heavy stuff again, because I learned to do the right exercises to build my own body up to do that again. So as you can see now by there, this time I invested already nearly 10 years in education. Not nearly, it was exactly 10 years from when I started in 1990 to when I got this sports physical therapist in 2000. So 10 years of education and learning, and of course quite a bit of money. And then I did my Master of Sports Physiotherapy when I came to Australia in 2008. And now I wrote my book and published that last year. The key of this book is really, it's a self-help book for back pain sufferers. So I invested 2.5 years on putting all the latest research together. So it's all research based. It's not just my ideas put together in this book. So it's all research based, but explained in plain English what you can do at home to prevent back pain and also to understand back pain, and the 12 weeks program on exercises, different kind of exercises, from flexibility to actually stress management as well, pain management, but also core strength, leg strength, balance, and so on. So it's quite a comprehensive book. And here's just what a senior physiotherapist says with his 40 years of experience in clinical practice. He says, so Bruce says, every back pain sufferer will benefit from using this book and its approach to take control of their back pain. After the 40 years